Police running all in and out the building. What the hell is going on?
Hey, Ben Johnson, or do we need to get off Ben's Johnson? Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? YouTube, what's good? Raider Nation, we are in the building. Hey, you guys see it? Hey, I'm not live at the Ahern. I'm in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm in here. While y'all in here, shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Blessings to the congregation. And, woo, woo! Shout out to the deacons. Hey, for those that are not knowing what the congregation is, that's what I call the subscribers here at Raider Twuan. Okay, so if you want to join the congregation, it is completely free to do. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. All right, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the congregation. Hey, and also, congregation, you already know what we got to do here.
Fucking Stizan.
Twuan, hey Twuan, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you.
That's right. Go ahead and hit that like button. Why? Because I like you. All right. Hey, also, with that being said, I'm already looking at the chat. The chat is moving and grooving. But hey, I had to put this one out here specifically before we get into the topic of discussion today. Hey, look, I gotta shout out one of my deacons, Rob Pena. Rob Pena has put the brown crackers in the chat. Then look, he also put no chips and stop playing with yourself. Okay, he is talking about, last live, I came in and I didn't have any brown crackers, so I gave everybody the Raider Twuan tortilla chip salute. But hey, you know what? Since the deacon has spoken, you know what I'm saying, I gotta make sure I get back to, back to the basics, you know what I'm saying, back to where we was at. And I gotta give y'all the Raider Twuan brown cracker salute. Remember, there is no Raider Twuan without the congregation. That's my subscribers. And also, there is no congregation without the Raider Nation. Salute. All right. Hey, we are in the building. I see you guys in here putting your name on the roll. If you're listening, go ahead. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. You know, say what's good. You know what I'm saying? Salute. You know, all that good stuff. All right. Hey, I love me some brown crackers, but every once in a while, I like to eat a tortilla. All right. Hey, look. Y'all seen what I got the live title tonight or today. Y'all seen what I said even on my thumbnail. Okay? We're going to break it down. And I'll tell you guys my real feelings about it. Now, I know right now the Las Vegas Raiders have put out their little searches because they fired Antonio Pierce and also Tom Telesco. And with that being said, when you fire, you're gonna have to hire. And we're in a place right now where Tom Brady has came in as a minority owner, but we know that him being a minority owner has some other implications, has some other, some other titles that may be said or not said. Okay. And we're in a wait and see. But in that wait and see, we've also heard from multiple sources of some of the not hirings, but the possible interviews, right? Pete Carroll came in, right? Dude from the Seahawks, right? Has a whole lot of experience, right? They've also been looking at GMs. And with those GMs, Packers assistant GM, Spy Tech has also came in from the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they're continuously looking and interviewing guys. Vance Joseph has came in as a head coach candidate, for an interview. And the rumblings of the beat writers have came out to say that an offensive coordinator seems to be the favorite for the job. And that offensive coordinator is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions, currently in the playoffs, is a candidate for the head coach position, but ultimately, and at the moment, is a favorite for the job. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Rob Pena's in the building. Lake Show Raider is in the building. Shout out to you. I see you. Gord Peterson is in the building. Members of the congregation. J-Dog is in the building. Good to see you. And O is in the building. Good to see you. Hey, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Quit playing with yourself. Subscribe. Hey, Deacons, please make sure you share this out. Please make sure you share this out. All right. Appreciate you. All right. So we are in a place where Ben Johnson may be the guy. But for those that may not know what Ben Johnson is, I got the little handy dandy notebook. And of course, I'm going to share his history with you. Okay? Ben Johnson, born May 11th, Okay, 1986. So this dude is 38 years old. He's young, okay? That's young, okay? I ain't gonna tell you how old I am, but you know what I'm saying? He's young. All right. His first start at being a coach or working on a collegiate level was at Boston College as a graduate assistant from 2009 to 2010, okay? And before that, he was at the college he went to was North Carolina, where he was there for, I believe, 3 years. Okay? So 2 years later, he becomes a graduate assistant at Boston College. Okay? He became the tight ends coach in 2011. Okay? And that was at Boston College. From Boston College, this is where he gets into the NFL. Okay? And he starts as an offensive assistant in 2012. So a year later, from being the tight ends coach at Boston College, he becomes the offensive assistant in 2012. Okay? Then he moves up as the assistant quarterback coach. He's working with the quarterbacks now from 2013 to through 2015. Okay? The same year in 2015, he becomes the tight ends coach for the Miami Dolphins. The next year, he becomes the assistant wide receiver coach from 2016 to 2017. Then he gets another promotion to wide receiver coach in 2018. From that part, he moves over to the Detroit Lions as the offensive quality control coach in 2019, tight ends coach 2020 to 2021, passing game coordinator in 2021, and his last position till recent is offensive coordinator from 2022 to 2025. Okay, so to present. Okay, that is his coaching resume. That is Ben Johnson, the potential head coach, candidate of the Raiders resume. Now, when I look at that, I say, hey, he's done pretty much everything on the offense besides work with the running backs and the offensive line. But I believe he has the experience to be a good offensive coordinator. But the question is he ready to manage being a head coach in the NFL? Is he ready? Not only just the NFL, but is Ben Johnson really ready to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? An iconic franchise with a large, massive, and huge fan base. The Raider Nation. Is Ben Johnson ready to tackle what it takes to not only be a head coach, but be the one to fix this organization where we're not the bottom, but we're at the top in the playoffs, in the postseason, and knocking on the Super Bowl's door. Is that Ben Johnson? Let's before we get into that, make sure you guys hit that like button. Shout out to Navy Vet in the building. I see you. And before we get into that, let's discuss some few things in regards to the Raiders and some things that we can learn from in the past. True Raider, good to see you. Let's look at our past coaches. And I ain't going to go all the way back because we know that we've been around since, y'all know. All right? So, I'm going to go as far back as Gruden. And Gruden as an offensive coach, the offense was good and the defense was bad. We move on from Gruden. Then Josh McDaniels was an offensive coach, and our offense sucked, but our defense was good. And you know what? I'm going to say this about McDaniels. I know some people hate McDaniels, and look, that's your Raider gospel, but my issue with McDaniels, and I was hoping that he was able to correct that, was McDaniels was trying to have his hand on everything. And he had a control issue in regards to allowing the guys that he has in positions to fully do their job. And I felt like with McDaniels, if he was just an offensive coordinator, he would have did great. Because whether you like McDaniels or not, McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator. But there's an issue when you're trying to handle being an offensive coordinator and then also wear the hat of a head coach. That's why it takes certain people and it takes special people to be able to be a coordinator and a head coach. There's a certain way that you have to function yourself. There's a way that you have to gather yourself. There's a way you organize yourself for carrying the load of being an offensive coordinator and also a head coach, or being a defensive coordinator and a head coach. And I believe that was McDaniels' downfall. And I've said that when he was in here, I talked about it and I said, hey, if McDaniels could just allow, someone to call the plays, we can use your playbook. You can teach out of your playbook, but allow someone to call out of that playbook, that might have helped. But because McDaniels was trying to put his hand on everything, he even had a grip on the defense. And we saw that when Antonio Pierce came in. And I'll be talking about Antonio Pierce in a couple of minutes. But with that being said, there's a that was McDaniel's downfall. And we look at these coaches, and I'll get to Antonio Pierce in a second, but we're looking at these coaches and their failures. And we're seeing where they went wrong. Gruden, good offensive coordinator, but who was the good coordinator on defense? Now, going to Antonio Pierce of recent. He's a defensive coach. And the best side of the ball was on our defense. It was our offense that sucked. And that resulted, along with injuries, which we know happens every year, it led to a 4-13 season. That was Antonio Pierce as a rookie head coach. A head coach on the collegiate level, a head coach on the high school level, but not a head coach until this past year. So we experimented with a rookie. And that garnished us a 4-13 season. And the question is, again, is Ben Johnson ready to be a head coach? Is he qualified? Has he did enough to show that he can be a head coach? And because Ben Johnson is an offensive coordinator, is he going to tackle being a head coach and an offensive coordinator? And is he ready to do that? That is the biggest question of the evening. Shout out to Kelvin. Good to see you. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. All right. Hey, let me say this. I like Ben Johnson. I think a lot of people are enamored with Ben Johnson because of what he's doing with the offense, with the Detroit Lions. But I think there is some pauses for concern. Okay? Ben Johnson is the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions that is currently in the playoffs. But can we really say that it's Ben Johnson that has led the Detroit Lions to the playoffs? When I say that, listen to me. In most cases, of course, the team is out there playing the game. But when there is a success of a team, typically there's a coach in which they attribute their wins to. Okay? When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, coaching-wise, you attribute it to Andy Reid, the head coach and the one stirring the drink offensively. Right? If you look at the Niners, you look at Kyle Shanahan and the offensive head coach and coordinator, offense coordinator, right? The Rams, you look at McVay, not just because he's a head coach, but he's also calling plays on the offense. And when I look at the Lions, and when we look at the Lions, is it Glenn, the defensive coordinator, that's also getting head coaches interviews? Is it Dan Campbell, the motivator, the guy that gets the guys ready to go for battle? Or is it Ben Johnson who's calling the plays? I think the success of the Detroit Lions is really coming from, shout out to Eduardo in the building, good to see you. I think the success of the Detroit Lions is really coming from the collective of coaches. Glenn's doing balling out on the defensive side of the ball. Dan Campbell is the head coach, and he's getting these guys ready to go, game ready, having them with the right mindset. And you got Ben Johnson calling the plays on offense. I think because they're a three-headed monster, that's why we're saying they are as dominant as they are. And I ain't gonna lie to you, the Detroit Lions look good. And if you ask me who's gonna be in the Super Bowl, I would definitely be talking about the Detroit Lions. Okay? Because of that. Now, the cause for concern, like I said, is you have that three-headed monster, but now the Raiders are just taking one. And is that one going to create what we see and love right now out of the Detroit Lions? Is this rookie head coach that has never been a head coach before and has been an offensive coordinator be the head coach that will lead the Raiders to postseasons and Super Bowls? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. My personal opinion, as much as I like Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator, I prefer to have a head coach that has been a head coach before. Now, I can give you guys names, but I don't think that would do justice at this point because all the names haven't came out yet. But I will say, I believe that we need to have a head coach that has been a head coach before. Because we've gone through the road of a rookie and seen how that worked out. We've seen a head coach that was an offensive coordinator, and we saw how that worked out. And as much as I like Ben Johnson, I prefer somebody with experience. The only way, listen to me too, the only way that I would want Ben Johnson here is if he's able to create an semblance of a three-headed monster. I don't want Ben Johnson to be the only good coordinator on this team. I want to be in a position where obviously our head coach and offense coordinator are going to be the same. And I'm speaking in advance, trying to paint the picture, right? But I want somebody just as good on that defensive side of the ball. Why? Because for the last 20 years, and probably even more, we've been an organization with peanut butter and no jelly, ham and no burger. And we got to do better about that. So whoever feels like Ben Johnson is the sole answer for us as Raiders and for us to win games, I'm sorry. It's got to be more than that. It has to be more than that. And my personal Raider gospel is that I prefer more than that. So this is not a Ben Johnson bash. This is not a, Ben Johnson is trash. Ben Johnson can't coach. You know what I'm saying? That's not where I'm coming from. I'm saying either I need a head coach that has experience, or as soon as we get Ben Johnson, we need to get the hottest and the most experienced defensive coach to handle the defensive side of the ball. Because newsflash, get ready. Patrick Graham is most likely out. I would love, I would say it like this. I would love to have Ben Johnson and Patrick Graham at defensive coordinator. That would help out a whole lot. And I might even do another live. Somebody remind me about the whole Patrick Graham and how does that affect the team. Okay. Somebody remind me about that. But thinking that bringing in Ben Johnson is automatically going to get us a Super Bowl, that ain't going to happen. Ben Johnson doesn't even know defense. I mean, he probably knows a little bit of defense, but he hasn't coached that side of the ball. So we're going to need a defensive head coach on that side of the ball. Somebody that could, Ben Johnson, don't worry about the defense. I got it. Let me handle this over here. You handle that over there. You know what I'm saying? Come see me when I mess up, because obviously you the head coach. Come see me when I mess up. But if I ain't messing up, leave me alone. Let me cook with these let me cook with these guys over here. And you handle the offense. Okay? That's how I want it to play out. So for the record, because I know some people like to, hold Raider Twuan accountable, and I like that. Hold me accountable when I say stuff. That's why I do my homework. That's why I bring, my handy dandy notebook to y'all. Because I'm almost finished with this notebook. I'm about to get a whole new notebook for the for the next season. Okay? But for the record, I wouldn't mind Ben Johnson coming over. But I need something equivalent or better on the defensive side of the ball. And obviously on special teams, because there's 3 sides of the ball. Okay? So Ben Johnson's cool in my book. But if he's just coming over here thinking that he's the end-all, be-all, that's a fat no for me. A big no on Ben Johnson. Okay? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you are new and listening, go ahead and subscribe. It's completely free to do. We are on the road to 500 subscribers by week 1. And you guys can do that by hitting that subscribe button. Okay, so hopefully we smashed that, you know what I'm saying? And I think the last time I checked, we were 1 away from 420. So, whoever wants to be subscriber 420, that could be you. All right? And again, like I said, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. I will be doing a giveaway when we hit that mark, even if we hit it before week 1, because I'll be here weekly, you know what I'm saying? At least weekly, if not bi-weekly. That's why you need to hit the notification bell, because I do go live at random, and I do collaborations with all content creators that want to have me on their show, and podcasts. So yes, you want to hit that notification bell and subscribe. Okay? Do that. All right. I'm going to look at your guys' comments. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kelvin is in the building. Shout out to Israel. I see Smack in the building. Good to see you. Lake Show, if I haven't shouted you out, good to see you. All right. Hey, I'm going to look at you guys. If you guys got any comments or questions about what I was talking about, or, let's try to keep it mainly on topic. I do got time for that. I'm actually scrolling up to the top to see where we can start. If you're interested in, we don't have super chats here at this channel. But if you want to be a financial blessing to this channel, it's screaming across the screen. It is also in the chat. Cash App, Venmo. That's how you can be a blessing to this channel. And again, you being a blessing to this channel is actually going to go back into the channel and back to the congregation. Okay. So yeah, I will be doing giveaways and stuff like that for the people of the congregation. Jeffrey, good to see you. Jeffrey is in the building. Kelvin said, so looking at the standpoint of who came up with these schemes and plays, was it the coach or the coordinator? Hey, that's why I said what I said in regards to, we don't know who's responsible for the success. Let me give y'all a Raider Twuan Brown cracker salute. We don't know who's responsible for the success of the Detroit Lions. There's no clear cut on who was the main guy that got the Detroit Lions where they. So that's a risk in itself. But then now that threesome, and I know you guys like that word, that threesome, we're just pulling one of those guys. Okay? We're just pulling one of those guys. And for those that might say, hey, what if Glenn don't get a job? Do you think we can pull Glenn over? I don't think that'll be the case. If he doesn't become a head coach, he will stay with the Detroit Lions. He's not going to go to a 4-13 team. He's not going to leave a playoff team to go to a 4-13 team. Okay? The only way Glenn will leave is if he becomes a head coach. So that's not an option for us. That is not an option for us. So that's something, like, again, that's a question. That's a cause for concern, right? Are we picking the right person? Hey, Calvin, you preaching some Raider gospel here, all right? Let me read this out for y'all. It's a team composition, but we can't succeed if we don't build out management, our coach, our coordinators. But we can't keep firing every year. I mean, look at PG. He has made this defense amazing. Hey, I talked about it. If you want to go back and watch some of my lives, I talked about it's a major problem. I talked about I'm trying to remember the lives titles. I talked about Patrick Graham College. Okay, the reason why Patrick Graham is having success is because those guys have been in this system. The starters, the main starters that we had, have been with him at least 2 to 3 years. So they know exactly what PG wants when he calls certain things. They know, okay, I can cheat this and shortcut this and get there and you know what I'm saying? That's why we see Merrick playing well. And it's because of the consistency. And the consistency that we need for the Raiders cannot solely be on the defensive side of the ball. That consistency has to be on our offense. That consistency has to be with our GM. That consistency has to be with our entire organization. J-Dog, we all saw what happened when we just had a hype man with AP. That's Campbell without Johnson. Hey, that's Campbell without Johnson and Glenn. Well, I'll just say it like this. I you're right, J Dog. As I'm reading this, because Glenn is our PG, and when I say PG, I'm talking about Patrick Graham. Okay, so those would be like equivalents, right? Patrick Graham has got some head coaching, acquisitions. Glenn got some head coaching acquisitions on the defensive side. So J Dog, we right here, brother. All right, but that's where it's at. And I think with Antonio Pierce, the formula was shown to us. If we could get a good offensive coordinator, along with obviously with Patrick Graham, or a good defensive coordinator, we could have ran with Antonio Pierce. Because Antonio Pierce is doing exactly what Dan Campbell is doing, in essence, with the Rams. I mean, not with the Rams, with the Lions. Okay? He's motivating those guys to, no matter what's going on, they're out there playing hard. And one thing that we could say, whether you hated that we were losing games, that our quarterback was just horrible, our offensive line was what it was, we couldn't figure out who was our running back from week to week. One thing that you could say with the totality of that team was that team was fighting. Yeah, some of the games look bad. But with the talent that we had, that we were trotting out there week to week, that team was still fighting. And that's where we are, with that. So J-Dog, yeah, that you said it right. You said it right. Ed in the building. Eduardo dropping the brown cracker. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look. Shout out to Ed. Eduardo. Israel said it's going to take them at least 3 years to build Raiders into a playoff contender. That team is a mess. Hey, we talking Raider gospel today. That's why I love the congregation, because the congregation comes to Raider Twuan and spits that Raider gospel. See, look, look, congregation. That's why you want to be a part of the congregation, because we over here spitting that Raider gospel. All right? Hey, that's where it's at. We are a mess. Mess in the leadership aspect of it, but we saw, because of injury, how real deep we are as a roster. Okay? You feel me? Hey, look. hey, it is a serious issue. And of course, whoever is our head coach is going to come in to a mess. But I don't want that person to think that it's going to be solely him to fix this. You're going to have to bring the best on all sides of the ball. And then build out this team. We're not where we need to be roster-wise either. And that's the reality of where we are. Kelvin said, I think he has the capability. We just got to give him the time. It won't happen overnight. I agree with you. We got to give him a chance to build us from the ground. Hey, we started from the bottom. Hey, and we still there. Just like this channel. I say it all the time. Hey, I started from the bottom and I'm still there. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to subscribe so we can get off the ground. Okay? All right. But that's where we are. We got to give whoever this coach is, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Ben Johnson, whether it's Pete Carroll, hey, Tomlin might be on the board. I'm just saying, right? So whoever it is, for those that want that right now, you know, we got to win right now. Win right now. I've been losing all my life. Hey, sorry. You have to deal with another. I'm not going to say exactly 3 years, but you at least going to have to wait another year or two until you see something really going in the right direction, right? So I think he has it, but like I said, Kelvin, I think he's capable, but like I said, we need to have somebody. We need a head coach of the defense to take care of the defense. So the defense ain't. I don't want to be in another situation where last year our offense sucked. Our defense was good. Now we got Ben Johnson and our offense is good. And our defense sucked. Similar to, the career of Derek Carr with the Raiders. Our offense was good. Our defense, there was a couple of years, hey, we were somewhat okay. But overall, in totality, our defense was not it. Okay? So, I want stability and progression. Show has a question. My question for Ben Johnson is, what quarterback are we going to bring in? Can't win without a legit quarterback in this in the AFC West. And I don't want to hear nothing about no Dart or Milroe. Okay. It's either Sanders, Ward, or bust. Okay. I think we might have to move either with AOC or bring in a veteran. And I'm saying that right now. We don't know how the draft plays out. I say it every year. There's always somebody in the draft that they start off being one of the high, number one picks, and then they turn around and, their stock drops. Now, word on the street is that Shedeur Sanders' stock is dropping. Is it going to drop all the way down to 6? That's still up to question. But I don't think Dart, I like Dart, but we need something better than that. And I think Dart is going to need time. Anybody, to be honest with you, I think Shedeur, if we were really doing it right, Shedeur and Ward would sit, if not all year, at least half of the season. At least. Okay? And that's my preference. I believe in, I know we haven't did it, but I personally believe that we should let that quarterback sit. There's some things that he needs to learn holding that clipboard. And I think we might have to roll, with AOC or bring in, a Sam Darnold or somebody of that caliber, a starting quarterback to be our bridge. To allow that quarterback who we drafted time to mature. I'll say with AOC that there's been, the connections that, he could be the Jared Goff to Ben Johnson situation. And Ben Johnson is going to have to figure that out. I think he's already in a position where he has an eye on a quarterback that he wants to bring with him if he does get the job. So I don't think it's really a question like, oh, do we know what we're going to do at quarterback? I think he already has an idea of what he wants to do if he gets the job. But, that's why it's going to take some time. Picture this. Ben Johnson's the head coach. He's also the offensive coordinator. And then he still has to deal with quarterback. Does he really have time to really be and fulfill all the duties of being a head coach? Will we see what we saw with McDaniels trying to control everything? And because he's trying to control everything, he's a master of, master of, that saying master of many or whatever. Pretty much good at everything, but not excellent at one thing. Because you're stretching yourself so thin that you're not being able to do one job to its fullest potential. That's what we'll be running into with Ben Johnson if we don't consider bringing in other guys. Yeah, Gord. Hey, that's my pause on. Again, that's my pause on Ben Johnson. That is my serious no on Ben Johnson. Because people are not talking, and I listen to all these content creators, these guys that got 4 times, 10 times the subscribers I got. All they're doing is pumping Ben Johnson, but they're not talking about filling out this totality of this team. And I feel like I'm called as here in the Raider Nation to be that, hey, watch out now. And I'm telling y'all, if you think solely Ben Johnson is going to fix this team, you're going to be hurt. And you're going to be very bitter. Hey, J Dog, I see you said hype man. Hype man. Coach can only do so much. Hey, and that's why I feel like I said, when you have that three-headed monster with the Lions, and you start breaking that piece up, that's why I think if and I'm telling you, organizational wise for the Lions, if the Lions don't have that next guy ready to go for them, their Super Bowl window might just only be 1 year. There was a time in the NFL. There was a time in the NFL, if you had one good coordinator, you know what I'm saying, you could win games. You could get to the Super Bowl. Okay? But nowadays, you gotta have a good offensive coordinator, good defense coordinator, and that special teams better know what they're doing. Israel said Tom Brady will turn Raiders into a powerhouse in 3 to 5 years, but they need that blue chip quarterback. Hey, look, I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful for this team. I think, Brady has a direction. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call it the Brady Way, as other people kind of pinned it, but he has a direction in which he wants to go. And I hope that we can stay that course. And I hope that his decision making isn't just, bring Brandon Johnson in here and that's going to work. Because it ain't. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Bird said, "My perfect world is Patrick Brown stays." Hey, I wish he would. And and like I said, I'm gonna have to do a live on that, because that's a whole nother. I'm gonna give you all a whole nother hour. You know what I'm saying, on Patrick Graham, the effect of Patrick Graham in regards to the totality of the defense and this team. Might have to do that next week. Billy Davis, I see you in the building. Shout out to Billy. Scrolling down. Hey, you guys is in here getting it going, man. Zach, good to see you, man. I see you in here. Zach, you crazy? Not Zach, you're crazy. Zach said, "You're crazy if you don't want Ben Johnson. That dude changed the Lions offense to a whole new level." I also heard Johnson will bring in Hendon Hooker, or Mark Brunell as an offensive assistant head coach. Okay. I'm cool with Hendon Hooker. Obviously, he knows the offense. That is a benefit to helping out usher in this new offense. Obviously, the wide receivers and all that, they can, ask Hendon Hooker, hey, what's going on? ALC is still here. I don't know what they're going to do with Minshew. Minshew's still on the books. So I don't know if they'll try to, shop him or either retain him and just have him, be an auxiliary guy. But yeah, I don't. Let me say this because we got a lot of people in here now. I'm not opposed to Ben Johnson being the head coach, but he has to bring in a team. He can't just be Ben Johnson and, the Chipettes. Okay? I want Ben Johnson. I want, I'm just going to throw names out there. I want Ben Johnson. I want, Patrick Graham. I want Ben Johnson, or I want and Vance Joseph. I want somebody to come in as a defensive coordinator and say, hey, you run the offense, I run the defense, and let's start kicking butt. Okay? I don't want what we've been dealing with for the last 20 years and more of the peanut butter, no jelly. Offense sucks. Defense is good. Our defense good. Our offense sucks. Then we fire that coach in a year. Our offense sucks. Our defense is good. Our defense sucks. Our offense is, I'm tired of that. That's what I'm tired of. I'm not even tired of, people talking about tired of losing. No, I'm tired of one side of the ball was good. Then we changed coaches, and all of a sudden, that side of the ball now sucks. And how do you change that? You have consistency, but you not only have consistency, but you also have stability in your coaching. With guys that are not question marks, but guys that are proven. Okay? Hey, Zach, hey, look, I know that, like I said, most of the time these offensive coordinators, when they do come in, they have their guys. Hey, if I get the job, get ready because you going to X, Y, and Z. Okay. And that's where that's the wait and see. But like I said, I'm talking to some of these people that are just putting out here that Ben Johnson is the answer to all of our troubles. And I'm telling you now, that ain't the case. You guys give me 1 second here. Trying to get this back. There we go. Hey, you guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you like the Raiders, go ahead and subscribe. I don't know what y'all waiting on. Go ahead and subscribe. It's completely free to do. And I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Lord. Minimize. Here we go. Excuse me, having some little technical difficulties here. I keep clicking on Brando. Um, you guys make sure you guys hit that. Let me. There we go. Back in it. Back in it. Hey, thank you guys for staying with me. Staying with me. Trying to get this for you guys. All right. There we go. All right. Hey, that's why. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. That's why I need to get back in the Ahern. All right. But I thank you guys for coming in and rocking with me. Um, all right. I'm looking at All right, deacons, you guys know what you guys can do and need to do. All right. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Trying to read through all that. Lake Show. Okay. If I didn't get, look, I'll say this. If I didn't get to your questions, because again, I have some little technical difficulties, definitely send that to me on IG. And I will get to it. I may even do a video or live on just solely on whatever question you may have. But to okay, Reno Rocket, let me answer that question. I am not pushing for a black head coach. Okay. I'm gonna put that on the record. I'm not pushing for a black head coach. It has nothing to do with race in regards to me. For those that may feel that that might be my take, that's not my take. My take in regards to Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson can't solely be the reason, and I don't believe that would be the reason as to why we turn this team around. It's going to have to take what we're seeing with the Lions. You're seeing a head coach motivate an offensive coordinator carving it up offensively and a good defensive coordinator. Okay. Now, in our situation, if Ben Johnson comes in, he'll be our head coach. He'll be the motivator and take care of the offensive side of the ball. But I need him to not mess with the defense. I need him to allow whoever comes in as a defense coordinator to be the head coach per se of the defensive side of the ball. And that has nothing to do with color. So, no, I'm not pushing that. And I don't have beef with Ben Johnson, but like I said, what I have been seeing is people expressing that Ben Johnson is going to be the savior, and I don't think that'll be the case. If you're asking for Ben Johnson to be the savior solely of turning this team around, you're going to be sadly mistaken. So that's my take. Brady, I'm not trying to block you. Oh, sorry, that wasn't you. Where was it at? So those that are new to the chat, I know some people are brand new to the congregation. I don't per se block unless you say something foul, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you being racist, if you being something like that, that's what I'm not going to tolerate here. I have some deacons who are what technically are my moderators. My deacons they do have the power to do what they feel is necessary. If you're doing stuff like that, they will remove your comment, and they should remove your comment. But if you're just talking and whatever, if you're not being disrespectful, you're good. You might get timed out. And again, that for the most part won't come from me unless you're just blatant and I could really see it because the chat is flowing. So just be mindful of what you say and how you say it, and you're good in my book. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go ahead and subscribe, and join the congregation. And yeah, my deacons will get at you and do what they feel like they need to do. Or the congregation themselves might, say something in the chat, because so I got my deacons is gangsters, but I'll tell you right now, I got some gangsters in the congregation too. And they will say they peace. I'm trying to make sure I get everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to OJ's in the building. Good to see you, OJ. See, OJ comes in with his Raider gospel. He said, I understand that narrative and don't hate it either. Ben Johnson is an offensive mind this organization needs. I don't feel AP needs more time. Yes, but what's done is done. Hey, look, hey. And that's his Raider gospel. What is done is done. I like I said, I like Ben Johnson, but he can't be the only reason. The only thing we bring in and think that we're gonna win games. I think that's also some of the hype within the Raider Nation is we'll get one player. Oh, we ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I was like that. Can I throw myself under the bus? Y'all want to see some suicide? You know what I'm saying? Situation. I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I said that when we brought in Devontae Adams. I was like, man, we got DA. We about to, you know what I'm saying, turn up. And we end up turning down. And we got to fully build out this team. Fully build out this team. Not only just player personnel, but also coaching. Remember, there's 3 sides of the ball. We can't just have one good side. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, look, we got a whole lot of people in here. Make sure you guys, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and always do this. Go ahead and hit that like button.
Fucking Stizan. Twuan, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you.
Yes, sir. Go hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? I may not agree with your take, but because you like the Raider Nation, I like you. All right. Hey, hit that like button. Hey, here at Raider Twuan, we are advocates for being an organ donor, and that's always in the description of all my videos and lives. So definitely go down into the description section of my video or live and get that information, and definitely consider being an organ donor. If you have any questions that maybe you want me to answer, or a question you might want to hear my take on, and it might possibly be a video, you can always send that to me on IG. My IG information is right there. at Twuan, TWUAN. That is also where you can reach out to me if there's something that you may be going through in your life. I am here to do my best to assist you in prayer. I know that may not be for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. But it is offered to you. Okay. Respectfully. Now, all like I said, IG is where you can ask me Raider questions. If you have anything for prayer, anything prayer going on, can you help me? Can you pray for a job? I'm looking for jobs right now, or I'm going to an interview on Monday. Can you pray for me? Or hey, my mom is sick. Can you pray for me? I got you. Okay. And again, your business is between me, you, and the Lord. I don't put your business out there in the streets. So, you know that, hey, what you tell me is between us. And obviously when I'm praying to the Lord for whatever's going on with you, obviously he knows, and he already knows. But that is for you, respectfully. Also, for those that are in here, we are on the road to 500 subscribers by week 1. And by that time, hopefully we'll have a winner, because I will be having a grand prize for hitting 500 subscribers. And all you got to do is something that's completely free, and that's hitting that subscribe button. Okay? You guys, hey, I appreciate you guys coming in. Those are the congregation, and those that are brand new, I saw you guys in here. Make sure you guys, again, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, because I do go live. Like I said, I'm trying to go live every, bi-weekly, but I do go live at random, because again, if you are a Raider content creator, or just a content creator that talks NFL football, I'm always available. Not always available, but for the most part, I am available to show up to your show and be a panelist. So definitely you can do that all at IG right there at Twuan, TWUAN. Okay, reach out to me there. Send me the link to get to your page. Get to your to your show. Let me know what time it is. Give me all that. And if I'm physically able to make it, I will be there. Okay. I'm willing to work with all content creators. Again, let me say that there is no beef. There's no drama here at Raider Twuan, nor do I have any drama with any of the content creators. So I'm saying that publicly. So if you want me to come to your show, send me a link to your IG, send me a link to your, to the show and all that stuff, so I can show up, and I will be there to share my Raider gospel with those your followers. NorCal Raider Jesse's in the building again, sharing my channel. He is one of the deacons of the Raider Twuan channel. So shout out to NorCal Jesse in the building. I had to do that before I leave. But I close out my shows, those that are new, with this saying, and I really do mean it: you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And man, let's go, Raiders.
What up, hello?
Today is a day when our heroes of the past become our legends of the future. Time never really stops for the great ones. We wrap them in a cloak of immortality and remember what great people they were. We recognize you, Virginia Man, his sons Mike and Joey. They were a football family, so that John can pursue his dreams. To Raider Twuan and a tribute to John Madden and Al Davis. We declare that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madden family.
Hey, Raider Twuan here. You must watch one of my videos or lives. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and it's right there. Or if you want to watch one of my videos, watch it right there. And let's go, Raiders.